Hi, everyone. So today we are interviewing David Barker. David Barker, I met many years ago training at a mixed Spinx's Jinwoo Kun, Double Dragon, and that's where our friendship started. And we were training together, and it's been a while. David, welcome to COVID-19 podcast. That's not really the name. We've both just lost our jobs, and we're sitting here smiling.
Absolutely.
I thought we'd take advantage of isolation. How good's isolation? I think I put on 4 kilos during isolation in 2 days.
I was going to say, I'm really sorry I haven't shaved or done anything. I haven't had to see anyone for days. So
I
looking a bit rough.
I didn't even make an effort to put an Ace Martial Arts shirt on, and you did.
There we go.
Pretty good. But I drove into the office, and I'm here. I'm here recording. So David, it's when did it start for you, mate? When did martial arts or boxing or come into your head? When did you start? When was it? When did you start thinking about training in martial arts? When did you start, and how did it happen?
Yeah, I was 25, Hayes, and I was pretty lost at the time. Didn't really have much of a purpose. Was pretty caught up in just partying every weekend, and it got to a point where I sort of was reflecting and going, when I was younger, I knew that if I worked hard and put some effort in, I could achieve great things. And I sort of felt like I was just drifting through life with no direction, no guidance, no purpose. And just one morning, hungover, been out every night of the weekend, and I just went, man, I got to do something about this. Like, it's unhealthy. I feel lost. I was angry. There was, lots of emotions going on. And, just always been interested in boxing, kickboxing and whatnot. And I never really had the courage, I guess, at that time. I was quite small, didn't really have much muscle mass or anything like that. So I wasn't really brave enough to step into a conventional gym. And took my time, but found Double Dragon and took my first session up there and never looked back.
So you started quite late, at 25. With all due respect, a few of the people you speak to, they start when they're young and they watch a Bruce Lee movie, they join their local karate club. So at 25, mate. So did it cross your mind earlier? Did it cross your mind? You said you were interested. Was there a movie? Were you watching fighting?
I don't know what it is, man. Like, I still remember, like, Dad, I remember in primary school, I just loved punching and kicking.
So it was there. Something was there.
Yeah, Dad would always get called up to Oyster Bay Primary, and your son's been kicking someone again. And I remember, like, this is going to be a really weird story, but I remember, like, recess break, being out the back, like, pretending to teach someone how to do martial arts, and I had no idea. Like, I was 5 years of age, and I had a whole group of us, and we're going for it.
So you were faking it. You were faking it.
I was faking it till I made it.
That's amazing, because I was watching a movie last night called Catch Me If You Can about a con artist. Frank Abagnale, how he just became a pilot out of the blue, faked it. So you're saying to me you faked being a martial artist?
I faked being a martial artist. It's hilarious, man. I mean, I look back on it now and go, I don't know where that was. I mean, I could say maybe the Ninja Turtles. Like, I was a big Raphael fan.
Yeah, right. Are you faking anything else, David?
No, not anymore. Not anymore. But yeah, 15, 16, I really wanted to get into boxing, and my dad took me and 3 of my mates up to PCYC.
Oh, cool. Yes, that's old school.
I might have been younger, like 13, 14. And I remember the first session, no hand wraps, no nothing. We were actually thrown in the ring with Craig Rudderman.
Oh, no. Out of every person in the world, they put you in.
He would have been 8 or something. I
think he was still scary at 8.
He was, mate. And I remember my dad picking us up, and we had blood all over us, like, and he went,
"Oh my gosh!"
Yeah.
So for everyone, Craig Rudderman, former Australian kickboxing champion, very, very hard puncher, very talented.
I think back then he was maybe New South Wales boxing, something, or he was going for it.
One of the best. One of the best I've ever seen.
100%. I went to school with him, right? So, and he was small, and people would pick on him, mate, and he'd go, right, 3 o'clock on the oval. Well, didn't they regret that?
Wow, the ginger ninja strikes.
Yeah, the ginger
Wow.
ninja.
Wow.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that was the case. And then I got, 16, 17, you find alcohol and partying and all the rest of it, and that was it.
So Double Dragon, you started there, and how was it for you the first time doing something totally different?
Oh man, it was awesome. Like me and my best mate went up, and I remember I must have really loved it because he goes, "Oh, I'm not going back," and I'm like, "Oh, stuff it, I'm going back."
Really?
Yeah. So he did,
well, what upset him so much to be like that?
I don't know. Like it.
It's not for everyone. Like, one thing I've realized over the years, and in my head, I don't understand how you can not love that stuff.
Yeah,
punching and kicking,
so
much to it.
Mate, it could have been he didn't feel like he was good enough, maybe out of place. I don't know. I can't remember. But
so yeah, he stopped.
Yeah, so I played soccer with Dean. I was in Dean's team for a long time. My dad coached him, so Mick remembered me. And
Dean Spinks. You're talking about Dean Spinks.
Oh, Dean Spinks, yeah.
We've got to be specific because this might go all around the world. So people need to know who Dean is.
Sorry, Dean Spinks, Mick Spinks' son. Played soccer with him, went to primary school with him, and his dad remembered me. And, I just remember, and it's something that's transferred over into the way, that I like my coaches to run my gym. Like, the minute he'd see you walk in the door, it was, he was pumped. He was, giving you raps. He was excited to see you. And he really made me feel at home straight away. And
did you get free raps? I never got free raps when I went there.
Not free raps, pats on the back.
Oh, pats on the back. I was going to say.
How he is.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Mate, that was it. I went up to Mick and I went, all right, sign me up. I want BJJ, boxing, kickboxing, and I go do that freestyle. He goes, mate, settle down. It's a good idea to learn one.
You don't have to say that. I know you probably didn't pick freestyle. No one picked freestyle first. That's okay.
Mate, I did.
Whatever.
I wanted to do everything. Well, he had a membership which encompassed.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did everything. So yeah.
They said no, stick to one thing, and and I remember those early sessions, right? So I'd come up, I was so pumped. I ended up basically straight away started training 5-6 days a week, and
full on.
Straight into it.
All right.
I don't do things in halves, and I remember coming straight up, and I'd sit at the bike on the stationary bikes at the back.
Yeah.
Be wrapping my hands, and there was you, Cashman,
Michael.
In the ring, doing your private sessions, and I couldn't stop watching.
They paid the big bucks, mate.
Mate, it was awesome. I was hooked. I was really inspired.
How did young Mike afford those private sessions? I've always wanted to know that.
I have to ask you.
I remember you warming up on that bike and staring. Yeah. And I'm like, fuck, has this guy got a problem? Then I realized it wasn't that negative stare; it was a positive stare. But it took me weeks.
It's admiring
because your resting bitch face was hard to tell initially.
Yeah,
then I worked out it was a positive.
Well, it was different, and it was different the way you coached, and I really liked that, and I loved watching Mike and the boys do a little bit of sparring drilling at the end, and the head movement and all that kind of stuff. So. I ended up reaching out to you not long later. Yeah,
that's right. From memory, we did a few privates. Then you got a few boys in. You guys did a combined privates with
a couple of the younger mates.
Yeah, there was about 6 Nathans in that group.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. There's a few of them, and they were all Vision PT boys.
Yeah, that's right. All really nice guys. Yeah, so they were all pretty good as well. I remember they were pretty good.
Yeah, they all picked it up really quickly, and they really enjoyed it.
Oh, cool.
But it was, really enjoyed that first experience.
So what is it about the martial arts that you love the most? Like, if you had to pick one or two things, what is it that you love about it the most? Forget the fitness element.
Right, for me, it's a lifestyle. For me,
Yeah.
it's a way of life. I love martial arts. You know, it transfers over to all aspects of my life, and that's discipline, hard work, respect. You know, it's who I am today. It's how I treat people. It's how I run my business. It's yeah, like that. That's what I love about it. I'm a martial artist. I always will be, and I live by the code, so to speak. And
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with that, mate. And I see that with your other business, and a lot of similarities to how I run the martial arts business. It's that in the industry you're in, fitness, it can be very individual, but you can make it a team. You can make it a team effort, and I can see you've instilled that into your fitness business.
I was very lost at 25, and you took me under your wing, and you've mentored me this whole time in multiple facets of my life, and you know, I'm very grateful for that, and who I am today is you know, big thanks to you. And
Oh, mate, please, we don't want to speak like that on this video.
well, it
I
is. I
can't.
mean,
Thank you.
I don't know
Thank you
about
very
you, but
much.
lost my business this week, so I've been crying. So we may as well keep extending.
Yeah, well, I had a cry too on Monday. I'd cry, then eat chocolate.
Yeah, I didn't go to that extreme. I didn't eat for a couple of days, but yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Well, no, thank you. I really appreciate that. And for let's go into that, because when I met you, you were working as an electrician. So what changed for you? What made you go from a tradie into this career that you forged by yourself? You've done it on your own. So what was it? What was that moment?
I mean, I got the opportunity to do some coaching up at Double Dragon. It just changed who I was, mate, and I felt like I wasted so much of my life, and I wanted to give it back. Martial arts got me back on the straight and narrow. It gave me purpose. It gave me direction. It wasn't extremely hard to do, right? Don't get me wrong. I worked really hard, but there was some really simple steps that I put in place to transform my life. And I was like, you know what? I want to be able to share that with people.
Perfect.
You know, because I was in a bad way. I didn't have a good diet. I wasn't training. I was drinking.
Really? I can't imagine you on a bad diet. So what were you eating before?
Oh man, it's a tradie. It was terrible. We're eating hamburgers, pies, cans of V on the way to work.
That sounds fantastic. I'm signing up tomorrow.
The tradie diet.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, I suffered from anxiety and panic attacks, which was really crippling. Mate, at the end of my time in that transition between tradie and martial arts, and I couldn't get in a lift.
Yeah.
Because the door would shut and it would set me off, right? It'd be crippling, and I'd be down in the corner, like,
wow.
You know, I was living off caffeine under it. Yeah.
It was a disaster waiting to happen.
It was a disaster, and I saw it everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a few simple steps that I implemented thanks to yourself, Mick, my good mate Nathan, who we spoke about before. And you know what? This isn't as hard as it is, and I want to share that with people.
How good is that? And you went and did your Cert 3 and your Cert 4, and before you know it, you were creating your logo. I remember we were sitting down looking at your logo.
Yeah.
And David Barker Personal Training was born.
Yeah, 100%. Well, there was a little transition. So I started crashing really hard with my anxiety and panic attacks.
Yeah.
And I've always been a really hard worker. So I had, I want to say 16 weeks holidays saved up, probably 40 RDOs, all this kind of stuff. And I went, I need to get out of here. I packed up and I moved to Thailand for a bit over 3 months.
Really? Wow.
Traveled with some friends, and then I finished up at Tiger Muay Thai for a month before it was like a big thing. lived there, and that was then. I came back. I still had holidays saved up. And I said to my boss, look, I'm not happy anymore. I'm going to go, do you mind if I use them to go study my Cert 3 and 4? He said, yeah. And that was it. I quit and came and started shadowing as many people as I could. Yourself, Mick, you gave me an opportunity with Australian Combat and Exercise. And I just started to learn as much as I could.
How many years has it been now since you started coaching and running your own business?
So I quit being an electrician when I was 27. I'm now 35.
Right.
So, and I think 2012 was when we sort of launched the logo and the brand and my own personal thing. So yeah, it's going on quite some time, 8 years.
Oh, wow. That's huge.
Been in my own facility for 5 and a bit.
Yeah. And what's your specialty at your facility? Or do you have a few things you work with?
Look, my goal is to use all the skills that I've learned via martial arts, strength and conditioning through Shane Greenwood, Shannon Green, all those people. I believe too many people are living life on the sideline, watching it go by.
Yeah.
Right. My goal is to give them the confidence and the skill set to be able to live in the moment, take all those opportunities without fear, build resilience. I use lots of training methodologies. I don't think there's one right or wrong.
Good on you, mate. Great way to be. And with the martial arts, the training itself, what is it that excites you about it the most? So if we're in class and I say we're going to do some bag work or sparring, what's the one thing that gets you pumped out of all the things we do in training?
So for me personally, like I love kickboxing. I love the Dutch style, which you sort of introduced me to. So punch kick combinations, that's what I absolutely love. I love like letting all my energy out.
Okay. You like the combo work and the drills?
Combo work, the drills.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you can continue to fine tune it. You've never got it, right? Like, so we can practice that same drill session after session after session. You can keep getting better and better and better. So, I love that learning and just with martial arts, just even with you, just like because you've got such a broad spectrum in your training history with martial arts. There's always little tweaks, something that you might take from traditional boxing and which helps my kickboxing, or a different style of kick which I can implement in my kickboxing. So that's what I love.
Beautiful. And who's the hardest person you've sparred?
Oh, you?
No. I'm trying to get to a specific story
here. What specific story?
Some grading of yours?
Oh, Craig Rudderman. Holy hell. And I'll tell you what, I'm pissed off because I've never seen anything like it again. Mate, I always tell the story, right? Because he's always such a nice guy, right? And he's always so smiley and happy. And I saw him walk in.
He helps people. He's a paramedic.
Hey, he didn't look at me, didn't say hi, went straight over to that wall bag and just started doing single heavy hits. It was like the movie Kickboxer where he walks past and he's kicking the concrete, you know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm dead here, man. He's readjusted my nose. I don't know if you can see it, but it's never been the same again.
Yeah, it's not good. Not a good nose there, David.
Yeah. That was...
And I'll never forget that. That even stunned me, that session. It was a grading. And we're all sparring at the end of the grading. Poor Dave was only level 2, I think. Nothing, not a black belt grading. Yeah. And Rudderman said to me, how hard do you want me to go? And I said, pretty hard. Yeah, go pretty hard on them. They're pretty good. Now,
pretty hard.
My version of pretty hard was what I saw. I remember seeing Dave on the wall. We've got video footage of this, and I'll share it one day. But then again, it's probably not good for business. Dave was on. Dave was stuck on a concrete wall, and Rudderman was throwing these, was it uppercuts and just single big shots, and blood was just everywhere.
Everywhere. And I thought, you know what? I'll take him down. And he threw me over and stood on top of me. He was like that. He was going to kill me. He was in the moment.
Yeah, sorry.
But his jab, mate, I don't remember much after his jab.
Anyway, look, you got your belt.
My belt,
literally, you got a belting. Oh, right.
Yeah, that was my hardest. I remember there was a session with you at Double Dragon. We did some sparring at the end, and you just put the pressure that you apply. It just makes people crumble, and that was one of my early sessions. It wasn't like you.
No, not hard. Drowning. I call it drowning people.
Yeah, you were drowning. I felt drowned.
Yeah, that's
so yeah.
All right, very good. And can I ask you now, before we wrap it up, a few questions? Favorite boxer of all time, current or past? It doesn't matter.
Look, I get asked this question with all sports, mate, and I'm a strange one in this regards. I love playing sports. I don't love watching them.
So you don't have a favorite boxer?
No, I don't have a favorite boxer.
Okay.
Look, if I'm to say anyone, I've always been fascinated with Muhammad Ali and just his eye and his ability to be in range, slightly get his head out of the way, strike again.
Nice.
I'm lucky enough at the moment to work with Tim Tszyu. And the only, I'm not saying, about boxing or anything, but what I like is what we spoke about before. He's a boxer. He lives and breathes it. His discipline, his respect. He doesn't shit talk, all that kind of stuff.
And I must say that must be a massive career highlight of yours to be able to be selected to be the S&C coach for Tim Tszyu.
Yeah, most definitely, mate. It was an amazing opportunity, and I'm loving every moment of it. And
you got to ask him. You got to ask him for a sparring session.
Most certainly, mate. I will.
You haven't yet, have you?
No.
You can do anything. If you were on the wall against Craig Rudderman, you can stand there in front of Tim Tszyu. Honestly,
going back to that, mate, that as much as I hated you for it that day, that changed my life and that experience and made me realize
levels.
I leveled up that day. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's good. So do you have a favorite kickboxer?
No, not really, mate.
Okay. MMA? You got to have an MMA fighter.
Yeah, George St. Pierre, mate.
Beautiful! What an amazing martial artist.
Yeah, again, that's exactly right. I love his athleticism. I love his he embraces everything as a martial artist, and that's who I grew up. You got to remember, I was 25 when I started, so UFC had just kicked off. Yeah. So my first sort of time going on YouTube or anything like that, it was looking at UFC, and it was George St. Pierre.
Fantastic. And final question: punching or kicking?
When I first started kickboxing, I would have said kicking. I hate boxing. What a boring sport. But since training with you, I definitely love my kicking. But learning how to box properly is a game changer. So boxing.
Punching. Beautiful. Thank you so much for your time, mate. That's fantastic. I really enjoyed that chat with you.
Thank you.
I spoke to Mike earlier. We did one with him. I said we'll probably have 6 people watching this. I'm hoping with you we get at least 20.
I hope so too, mate.
Yeah, 20 will be good. 20 views will be good. Wonderful. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you soon on the other side.
Thank you very much, mate. Take care of yourself.
Thanks, mate. And cut.